Wholesalers, it is time to man up. It is time to make a change. It is time to take control. How many times have you been told that you can do whatever you want? You can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you feel like in your life. I think a lot of us were told this when we were young, but eventually it turns out when we actually want to do whatever we want, everyone around us doesn't want us to succeed. And it's a little crazy, but it's true. And so you got to understand that they don't want you to win. More specifically, people around you. And you'll find when you get started in wholesaling, real estate, whatever it is, but I think for a lot of people inside of wholesaling, it's like they don't want you to win. They don't want you to have success. They don't want to see you succeed. And how do we deal with this? Well, we have to man up. That is number one. They don't want you to make money. They don't want you to be more successful than them. Everyone that said you can be whatever you want, when it actually comes down to it, right? Everyone can say you can be whatever you want, work hard, you get everywhere, right? Working hard is one of the biggest myths in the wholesaling game that I will expose. Because it turns out that working hard is not the key to success in wholesaling. And I think a lot of people, they see that and they're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, have you ever met like a garbage man, like someone that worked in sanitation? Have you ever met that person? They work really hard. Have you ever met like a nurse? You know, those ladies and guys, they work really hard. Have you ever met a teacher? They work really hard. But most of these people, no offense, they're absolutely broke. They are working paycheck to paycheck. They cannot make the bills work. They cannot make it work at all. But these people work really, really hard. So I guess hard work was never the true answer to success. Think about that. Because the system was always designed for you to work hard. And working hard never meant you made money. It's true, right? Farmers, they work some of the hardest, like they don't make anything. And those people will tell you they can be whatever you want to be, young guy, right? You can be whatever you want, young man. And these are people, they usually tell this to an 8-year-old or 9-year-old because a 9-year-old really can't achieve success yet. So they'll go and tell a 9-year-old that, oh, you can do it, do whatever you want. But when that 9-year-old turns 18 years old, things start to get a little weird. It stops going from you can do anything to live in reality. Like, what's wrong with you? You want to do that? That's unrealistic. And it's really funny when you're a really young kid, people tell you to do whatever you want. But then when you're actually the age to do it, nothing happens. You are actually told that you should not be following your dreams. This is because broke people want to compare themselves to broke people so they can feel better about their circumstances. What I mean by this is, if I'm broke, I can tell an 8-year-old, you know, you can go out here and be an NBA player. You can do it, sonny. But when that person turns 18, say, oh, yeah, man up, you know, go get a real job. You won't be in the NBA because their dreams to be in the NBA was crushed. And if you became an NBA player and a multimillionaire, then they never gave up on their dream, but you gave up on your dream. So now you're going to compare yourself to that. Now you're going to feel like a loser. But if that guy never made in the NBA, he quit, now he works at McDonald's and you're making more than him, you feel good because I'm doing better than Billy. The thing is, broke people really, really compare themselves to people, and they will always be happy with you and try to help you out until you start doing better than them, because then they start feeling bad about themselves. And it's embarrassing. It took me a very long time to understand this. And once I understood this, people to this day, they ask, what do you do for a living? How can you do that? I just, okay, I'm in real estate. That's what I do. I don't get into anything anymore because people really don't care. And genuinely, very few family, there's a decent amount of family members that actually care. But outside of family and very select few friends, it's like, they don't want to hear about me wholesaling. They don't want to hear me being a multimillionaire. They don't. Makes them feel bad because they're broke. And this is just Americans in general. It doesn't benefit them. So they don't care. And honestly, I kind of like it that way, that nobody knows I'm a multi-millionaire riding around, right? But the thing is, I kind of unleash the side of me that makes all the money and shows it on social media because I genuinely want to help you get to the same level I've been. Everyone else can't do it. And it's crazy. But I want you to understand in your life, the people around you, they are all probably broke. Therefore, hate to tell you this, but they are never, ever going to want you to succeed. Or they'll never want you to inherit the inherent risk of getting success. I know that sounds crazy, but like with most people, and this is a really long lesson it took me, it's a really hard pill to swallow, but it's true. When you fail, they win. It tells them it's okay to be living paycheck to paycheck. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, it makes them feel okay with their life choices. I'm being completely honest with you. So you really got to remember this. And I know it's very uncomfortable to say, and it's very like rude to me to say this about, but this is an uncomfortable truth I found from the majority of your family and your friends. Now, I'm not saying my majority of my family or my friends, but for most people. Best way I could say it. But for definitely your peers, right? They want validation that they didn't chase their dreams. And so they're going to want you to secretly fail, all of them. Not every specific one, but most of them, right? Anyone that doesn't directly benefit from this, they don't want you to have. Family, your friends, your peers, they want you to be like them. They want you to be in that 9-to-5 box, and you're in that box working the same grind, making the same amount of money. It tells them it's okay. 9-to-5, 2 kids and a wife, peaceful life. And it sounds peaceful until there's an economic situation. You get laid off. Now you got no money. And talks about that. You got to really remember this. To be like them is to struggle, right? Paycheck to paycheck. I think we all know what that's like. It's a struggle. It's a grind. But to not be like them is a different type of struggle. It is still a struggle. Being broke and getting rich has the same type of pain. It both hurts. It both don't feel good. But the thing about being rich or working to be rich is that pain goes away after like 2 or 3 years. That pain of being broke, that sting, will always be there. There'll be a scar when you're rich and being broke, but the scars heal and don't hurt no more. But the thing about it is the sting and the pain of getting rich and becoming successful, it hurts a lot more than the sting of being broke. But that sting of being broke is a long burn. It's like, would you rather have this persistent knee pain for 3 years straight, like excruciating, but after that, the rest of your life, you have no more knee pain? Would you rather have like a slight ache on your knee for the rest of your life? Which one do you choose? Most people choose the 3 years of pain and then get it over with, right? But the thing is, everyone chooses that because there's a guarantee that there'll be no pain at the end. The sad part about entrepreneurship, the sad part about being a wholesaler is that pain of wholesale, like that pain, it's not guaranteed it'll ever go away. And because there's no 100% guarantee, most people will not go through the whole thing. And so how do we maximize our chance of success here? I'll tell you this. You just have to take control directly of what you can control and get rich. Now, I've said this time and time again, but I'll keep continuing to saying this. But I've never met, I said this on my Discord call, and I've been waiting for someone to prove me wrong. I've never met a man that has put his complete all into something and not achieved it. That is within the realm of physics. Oh, God, I've never seen a man jump 100 feet in the air with no tools or just by himself. Okay, fine. Like we can get in the, I've never seen a man lift 6,000 pounds with his pinky. Like we get crazy, but like I'm talking about things that are within the human realm of existence. I've never seen a man put his entirety into something and not get it. And here's where everyone says, well, actually, no. Let's talk about this, okay? My uncle put his all into being an MBA and he never made the MBA. Okay, let's talk about what your entirety is. Because we're really going to get into this. But like, I always use Kobe Bryant as an example. did you practice more than Kobe Bryant? I always ask if someone, I tried to be in the NBA and didn't get it. I'm like, well, did you practice more than Kobe? They're like, well, what did Kobe do? Like an hour a day? I did an hour a day. I'm like, no, Kobe did 6 hours a day, 6 days a week since he was like 6 or 7 years old. Did you do that? No. Well, why not? Well, I had schoolwork. Well, he found a way around it. And the funniest thing about it, I know it sounds insane. I know it sounds insanity, but like it's absolutely true. If you put like your all into it, I promise you, you can achieve whatever you want. Now, this is a speech everyone says to the 6-year-old, but like when you're 18, I'm the only one who's still telling you this because I got to the other side of that. Now, I don't like using sports analogies for this because sports is a 50-50 struggle. Sports is honestly 50% God-given ability and 50% like hard work. Because you could do all the hard work, and if you don't have that God-given ability of athleticism, some just people aren't born with it, you're going to be average. I know that sucks, but like this is just the reality of life. You are dealt with a card. The cool part about business and entrepreneurship and things that involve your mind, not your body, is unless you were born with some intellectual disability to process information, dyslexia, something like something that really will affect your motor skills of using your brain, like easily, you don't really need to work harder than the average person. If you just kind of just do the work, it gets done. Now, obviously, if you have dyslexia, something like that, right, you probably got to work twice as hard as the average person. Do I want to give you a handicap or make you cry about it? No, I know it sucks, but like, that's life. But the thing about it is, if you put your effort into something with your brain about business, you're going to do it. I don't know one person that put his all into something and it failed, outside of like a crazy hedge fund, like you did a crazy like business risk on like a stock and it went to nothing. You try to short it, but like that's the thing about wholesaling. I don't know one wholesaler that put his all into wholesaling and didn't get it. Like they worked 14 hours a day for like 3 years straight and didn't become a millionaire. Like it doesn't happen in wholesale. Like if you do it, it happens. If you have the ambition, if you're just crazy enough, you always get rich. Every wholesaler that put their all into has always gotten rich. And when I say they're all, like it's 14, 15 hours a day. I'm not telling you need to put 14, 15 hours a day, but like if you're telling me you've tried everything, that's my favorite one. I tried everything, Zach. I tried everything to get rich. Everything. Please tell me what you did approximately yesterday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And please go into detail about everything you've done. If I see less than 14 hours in there, I'm not going to go with your, I did everything. You didn't do everything, my guy. No. You did not. Okay. So it is time to do some mental calibration. Okay. It sounded like, okay, man up. Let's take control of 2025. Let's kind of get a little mental reset here, okay? Number one, pain and regret is inevitable when you're broke. The cool part is when you're rich, there's only pain. Oh, let's go back here. Pain and regret is inevitable if you're broke. This means it's going to hurt being broke, and also you're going to regret being broke. You're going to regret your decision of not going after your dreams. The cool about when you're rich is you don't really have regrets. You still have the pain of building it up, the pain of just struggling, but the thing is when you're chasing your dream, you don't regret not chasing your dream because you are chasing the dream. There's no regret there. That's the really cool part about it. And so it's technically less painful to go after your dreams. Now you got to remember, if you are losing right now, right, you're not getting deals, you're not becoming successful the way that you believe you should be, right? Why is that? Well, you're losing because you're choosing the wrong things to focus on versus the right things. So it's where we kind of got to go back on the right side of things, right? Every man, every wholesaler has the same 24 hours in a day. Now, I don't think we can argue about this, but like everyone's got the same 24 hours. I love telling people, I get up at 3 a.m. I'm like, that is the stupidest thing in wholesaling I've ever heard in my entire life. Are you calling a seller at 3 a.m.? Oh no, I meditate for 2 hours in the morning. Wait, what? I have legit wholesalers telling me this. They get up at 3 a.m. and meditate for 2 hours. You spend 2 hours meditating. You spend 2 hours meditating. Like, yeah. And I'm like, bro, what? I mean, like, I love meditating. I love yoga. Love working out. That stuff's all good. But I'll be honest with you. Meditating for 2 hours is just as productive as scrolling on TikTok and watching cat videos for 2 hours. There's no income producing activities from either thing. And your health is not going to be completely way better from meditating for 2 hours, maybe meditating 15, 20 minutes, fine. But 2 hours is insane. Don't get me started with the bodybuilders who work out for 3 hours a day and wonder why they're still broke. It's like, bro, just work out 1 hour a day, spend the 2 hours doing something productive. It'd be better to wake up at 7 a.m., get some food, get some coffee, maybe work out, then at 9, start hitting the phones. And you hit the phones till like 8 p.m. Those 2 hours could be spent sleeping, so you have energy. Because I promise you, you get up at 3 a.m. If you get up at 3 a.m., by the time you're at a 6 p.m. cold call, you're dead. Like, you do not. The reason why in college I was not a 2 a.m., 3, 4 a.m. guy was because I was cold calling till 7 p.m. I was closing sellers till 8. You are not on your A game at 8 o'clock if you got up at 4 a.m. because you're supposed to go to bed at 8. You're being dead. Okay? So I think a lot of people really don't value that too much. It's insane. It's just insane to me. So what I've personally found is roughly the real difference between the winners and losers in wholesaling is about 6 hours. I found 6 hours a day is the real separator between the winners and the losers in wholesaling real estate. And what I mean by this is, let's say you have a full-time job, okay? 30 minutes to drive there, 30 minutes to get home, lunch break, whatever it is, right? Call it 9 hours at the job. I recommend everyone gets at least 8 hours of sleep. Sleep's pretty important for your health and for your mental clarity. You get paid with your brain, so you want to make sure you're doing good, right? Okay, cool. So 8 hours of sleep, and then why did I put 1 hour? I think I put 1 hour eating. I don't know. Let's eat for an hour, work out for an hour, whatever it is, right? Put an extra hour for working out and whatever, right? That's about 17 hours. 17 minus the 24 hours we get in a day means we have 6 extra hours after everything. Wait, that is 7 hours. Let's do 2 hours of other stuff. Let's do 2 hours. Okay, cool. 19, that's 5. What is wrong with me today? Hold on, let me do the math real quick. 20, yeah. Why am I tripping out right now? 24 minus 18 is 6. There we go. That's what I thought. 2 hours, 18. There we go. There we go. 2 hours for working out, eating, whatever, farting, I don't know. Okay? That leaves us around 6 hours extra. Now, most people in those 6 hours, they'll spend half of that on their phone. Just being straight up with you. Most will have 4 or 5 hours of screen time on your phone a day. So that is the number one issue. Okay? The other half is like, you guys are just doing stupid things. Like straight up distractions. Now, what I'll tell everyone is 99% of your problems that are in your control, right? So look at the problems in your life. The ones that are outside of your control, you really can't control them. And I'm not going to tell you not to worry about them, but like, if you can't control it, it's going to be really tough to worry about it. Like it's pretty stupid. Still, you can worry about it, but it will not do you much justice to be constantly worrying about it. But all the problems in your life, pretty much, will always, that's in your control, is always going to come from how you look and how your bank account looks, if you're just a younger person. And what I mean by this is, if you're fat and lazy and you're broke, most of your problems, your life will just get significantly better by being ripped and being rich. I know it's funny to say, but like, I promise you, a lot of your problems will go away. So, just being honest. You know, you got lady problems. That like, and I know many rich, ripped people are having a problem with the ladies. And I get DMs from you guys all about all your problems in life. I'm like, well, why don't you just get rich? That'll solve most of it. But I also thought like, well, getting ripped would be help too. Like being severely obese ain't going to be good either. So what I've personally found is going out here and making a change in your life is the first thing you can do. Now, I'll be honest with you. First part is haters. Alexander says pre-recorded infomercial. How do I pop up a live comment and how is this not real? Here's the thing, Alexander Almonte. I would love to invite you. Here's a streamer link, my guy, and I would love to see your name on here. How about I show you the last 4 days of HUDs, and I want to see the last 4 days of bank account statements from you, and we can see who we should listen to. I'm not really trying to be a jerk, but the thing is, if you're listening to a multimillionaire, one of the top wholesalers in the industry, no ego involved, I'm just telling you, I would love to hear what you have to bring to the table. If you are broke and you are complaining that somebody is spitting the knowledge out to you of how to become rich, you have to have some crazy, dude, you have to have some crazy knowledge that we're talking about. Maybe it's a billionaire on here, right? I don't know. But here's the thing. Let's talk about haters. We talked about haters in the beginning, right? People not wanting you to succeed. Nobody who wants you to, somebody that doesn't want you to succeed, they will always make less money than you. It's pretty much a fact. So when I see Alexander on here, pre-recorded infomercial. Last thing I would like to ask Alexander, if he would be so kind for me, please let me know what info am I selling. Infomercials, I'm selling something. I'm selling information. That's what an infomercial is. Please, Alexander, please tell me, please, what information am I selling you here? Do I have a course I'm selling you? Do I have a mentorship I'm selling you? I'd love to know because I got nothing to sell you here. So it's still crazy. I just want to let you know, guys, I can give millions of dollars a game absolutely for free. I cannot sell you. Guys, I cannot sell a wholesale course. I don't even sell a wholesaling course and people still hate that I'm giving it out for free. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then, there's people who sell courses that hate on me, but it's just like, well, you have to push me down. So when people try to buy your course, you say, well, see, I pushed them down. That's why you got to go with me. Like, obviously, you have an incentive for me to do bad. So that's why you're going to hate on me or, do some defamatory thing against me because it's like, well, I got to keep selling my course. And if I bring him down, then maybe I can sell more coaching. Well, I don't blame someone that sells a wholesaling program saying something mean to me. Like, that's just, dogs are going to bark. Like if you're selling a wholesale program, of course you're going to be hating on me. But he's stoked. He ain't going to comment. Here's the thing I want everyone to know. All right. I invite anyone to make a hate comment, whatever on me, right? As long as you don't sell some stupid $14,000 wholesaling program, I'd probably acknowledge it. And I'd love to have a conversation about any hate comment, any actual criticism of me. Outside of you selling a $14,000 wholesaling program, because I'm your number one objection. If you try to sell a $14,000 wholesaling program, your number one objection is, well, Zach Ginn teaches it for free. So of course you're trying to bring me down every moment. People literally plot my demise every single morning when they get up. It's crazy. But the thing about you, Alexander, is I have the balls to come out here and give all my information for free. When you could steal all this stuff and get rich in my own market, you could steal my information and sell a wholesale program. Alexander, you put your name on it, so I'd love to see your balls, if you got any. And I'd love for you to I have a streamer link. I've invited every single hater I've ever encountered to go talk to me to my face, and please tell me to my face this stuff. Most hate comes from no information. You tell me I'm selling info, I got nothing to sell you. But as we talked about from haters in the beginning, they don't want you to succeed. That's all I can tell you. Jeez, man, drives me crazy. But yeah, guys, I'll acknowledge any hate comment, any hater, as long as you don't sell a $14,000 wholesaling program. But the problem is all the haters all sell $14,000 wholesaling program. It's crazy to me. A lot of people think I'm talking about one person. Got 100 people trying to sell you a stupid program. It's crazy. So let's talk about, again, the pain of being broke. If you're like Alexander, You're always going to be hating on people because you're broke living in your mama's basement. And you're going to continue hating because there's not many people rich on a yacht that go in people's comment section and say, oh, this is terrible. Rich people don't have time for that. When's the last time I've commented on someone's thing saying that you sucked? I don't know the last time I've done it. Even when I was broke, I never went on somebody's live stream and said, oh, you suck. You're terrible. Oh, I hate you. Because I was too busy getting to the bag. And so, just being honest. So again, every man is 24 hours. Alexander chooses to hate. Crazy to me. But think about this. If we just focus on 3 things, eating right, working out, and wholesaling and making offers on properties, our life's going to get way better. Now, it's the 6 hours of distractions that will actually bankrupt you. This is the thing that's actually going to make you suck. It's actually going to make you not succeed. It's actually going to make you lose in this business. Okay? So think about it. The average millennial or Gen Z, Gen Alpha, we got all these new generations, right? If I put you on a white wall, right? So let's stare at this wall. If I told a 19-year-old, go stare at that wall for 2 hours, they would last 14 seconds. They would go, huh? How do I scroll up? But like the average 19-year-old cannot stare at a wall for 2 hours. They can't do it. They physically, it's not even possible for them to do it. Like their little like teenage eyes can't do it. The dopamine receptors are so fried in their brains that they physically can't do it, right? If you have a 40-year-old and say, stare at that wall for 2 hours, they're not going to be happy about it. But if they had to do it, they could do it. Like the dopamine in their brain, the receptors are not fried to a crisp. Okay? It's crazy. And the thing about this is teenagers will not spend 2 hours staring at a wall because that's boring. There's nothing, right? But oh my gosh, give you a phone, you will watch like cat videos for 2 hours straight. It's insane. Like you always want some pleasure from it, right? It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Okay? So the thing is, okay, same thing with food, eating right. I'm not kidding. This is Zach's like one sentence of like, all right, am I talking about countries here? There we go. Let me give Zach's one little slide of diet advice. Eat broccoli, eat rice, and eat plain chicken. Okay, eat a pound of chicken a day, white rice, and broccoli. Maybe put some hot sauce in there, nothing else, right? If you have that in a bowl and you say, usually an obese person, I'm not making fun if you're obese, right? Let's try to make a change, right? An overweight person will see that and say, I don't want that. But they say, I'm hungry. You give it to them, they say, I don't want that. I promise you, you don't feed them for 3 days. You give them that same bowl, they'll eat that up. And one piece of advice I learned very, very young from bodybuilders and like really like buff people, they always say, like, if you will not eat chicken and rice, you are not hungry enough. And as somebody, I promise you this, that in high school wrestling, I did a lot of weight cutting, not eat for like 2 or 3 days. And I've done a lot of fasts too. A plain boiled chicken with a little bit of salt is like a steak at Nobu in Malibu. It is the greatest thing in the entire world. You are foaming at the mouth just eating that thing. And my diet advice for everybody is, if you just want to eat plain chicken and rice with broccoli, you're not hungry enough. And that you're not hungry, you're bored. I know this is like crazy to say, okay? Okay, I know this is crazy to say, but like generally, just eat only really healthy food. And I promise you, you want to go eat something else, like it won't happen. Just eat chicken and rice. And if you don't want, I don't feel like it. Oh, then don't eat dinner. Wake up the next day, you'll eat that thing up. That's and don't put butter on it. Don't go put your 5 gallons of olive oil and 17 pounds of cheese. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. They're just plain chicken and rice. Oh, wow. And now we're getting, oh, season your chicken. No, don't season your chicken. Okay? Most of y'all got too high blood pressure. I'm just being honest with you. No. If you have to season your chicken, then you're not hungry enough. Seasoning won't add calories, it'll add blood pressure. Salt is another thing on there. I'm telling you, we're not. And so if you want to make a change, just start focusing on that. But really get to work. Like that. That is the focus on everything. That is it. Focus on that. Now, here's the truth about wholesaling. Though I'm more adept to talk about wholesaling than dieting, but I'll tell you this: more sellers you talk to by doing more calls will lead you to make more money. I think this is pretty standard stuff. And now let me give one more diet advice. And I'll put myself out on a limb because this is my personal channel, so I can say whatever I want. If you do a TDEE calculator, all right, and you roughly can figure out how many days a week you work out, it could tell you roughly what your maintenance calories roughly is. If you do 500 calories less than that a day, you will most likely lose weight. And what I mean by this is people's weight, and I don't care what you want to say, and I would love a dietitian in the comments. Please tell me if I'm wrong. But if your maintenance calories is 2,000 calories and you eat 1,500 calories a day, over a month, I guarantee you will lose weight. And whoever tells me, oh, well, my metabolism, you don't understand. If you eat 500 calories below your maintenance calories, I don't care if you're a male, female, or whatever you want to identify at. I could care less. Whatever you want, whatever word makes you feel good about yourself. If your maintenance calories is this and it's 500 below it, you will lose weight. That is Zach's Diet Advice 101. I'm not talking about muscles. I'm just talking about losing weight. If you're obese, 500 calories below. Well, you have to eat carbs and you have to eat protein. Dude, stop. Just do that. Now, the same works for wholesaling real estate. I know it sounds crazy. We don't need to do no calorie tracking on this one, though. This is why I like wholesaling. It's easier. I can guarantee you, if you can make 3,000 phone calls a month, you will get a deal if it's a government list. Well, it's like, what do you mean? 3,000 calls. So let's do the numbers. Let's do 3,000 divided by 25 working days in the month. That's 120 calls a day. If you made 120 calls a day with at least a 15% contact rate, if you add driving for dollars, you'll do even better. Okay, you'll do even better than me, all right? All right? But here's the thing. I just gave you the prescription. I told you how many calories of wholesaling to do, right? I told you 120 calls, all government lists and or driving for dollars. You will get a wholesaling deal. You get at least one wholesaling deal this year. I guarantee it. But here's the problem. Same thing with dieting, same thing with wholesaling. I was eating only 1,400 calories. Did you track the calories? No, I went to McDonald's. I got a double quarter pounder and I ate that and I thought it was like 100 calories. And then I ate some ice cream. It was like 2 scoops and that was like 20 calories. And then I had a Coca-Cola, but 0 calories, by the way. And then I had a bowl of mac and cheese. I didn't read the label. I just made the thing and about 100 calories. And it was about 1,200 calories. And I put 17 sticks of butter in there. And butter, I don't know, 20 calories each. Here's the thing about it. Like, if you want to be really good about your calories, you have to calculate everything to a T to actually know what you want. Same thing with wholesaling. The funniest thing is when I started really researching this stuff hard, the correlation's perfect. I cold called a lot today. Did you track how much you cold called? No. Here's the thing, people who don't track their calories and they start losing a bunch of weight, they're eating below what they had to do. And the people getting hand over fist deals and not tracking their calls, they're doing enough calls. But the people that are not hitting their goals, it's most likely because you're not tracking it. Because I guarantee you, if you are tracking 120 calls, which you're going to have a 20% contact rate, so let's do the math, 120 times 0.2, you're getting at least 30 pickups, 25, 30 pickups in a day. I promise you, you're going to get leads and deals. But the people that just don't track it don't get any good results. That's it. Y'all go to a restaurant and it's 200 calories. Yeah, right. So they throw butter on everything in a restaurant, right? But the thing is, you just have to track it. And if you track it over a long enough time horizon, you'll start seeing a correlation to your success. But the problem is, just like Americans, why we're all stupid, like we're all stupidly fat and we're all stupidly broke, it's because we cannot track our numbers. Because I'm not asking you to day trade and like get good with the trade and get lucky. I'm talking like things that just correlate your success with the amount of work you do. The more sellers, the more deals, the more offers you make. It's really that simple. My favorite wholesaler, my favorite archetype of people to coach are broke bodybuilders. They are my absolute favorite people to wholesale with because they know calorie tracking to a, I had 14 carbs and then I had 6 of the grams and I put 6.245 protein in there and I put a milliliter of the, they're all like they're all little Albert Einsteins with calculating their macros and their calories. But when it comes to cold, am I cold calling enough? It's a lot of cold calling. I'm like, I say, I literally tell bodybuilders, I'm like, treat your macros as your KPIs. Become obsessed with it and track it every single day. You want to eat, I said, you want to eat 400 grams of fat in a day? Of course not. I'm like, okay. We're going on. I always tell bodybuilders guys, I'm like, we're going on a KPI bulk. How many calories do you eat when you bulk? Oh, I eat 4,000 calories when I bulk. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to bulk on our marketing. We're going to do 400 calls a day on a triple line dialer. We're going on wholesaling steroids. We're going on a triple line dialer. Okay, then we're getting crazy. And as much as Juan's right about all the processed foods in America, I'll tell you this, as much processed foods as we have, if you track your calories, you're still going to lose weight. Don't want to hear about it. I still don't want to hear about it. Okay? Literally, in my city, one of the top bodybuilders, Chris Bumstead, lives where I live. He was eating American food, and he's still the best bodybuilder of all time. Outside of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger's American, but like Chris Bumstead's like 2025, like jack dude, and he can deal with the American diet. So think about that for a second. Guys, stop giving yourself excuses. I know everyone gives each other excuses. And don't get me started about the I don't know myth. Oh, I don't know how to eat my calories. I don't know how to track it. I don't know how to cold call. I don't know how much to cold. The information is out there. Again, everybody knows. FreeWholesaling.com is where I teach how to wholesale real estate. FreeWholesaling.com. Again, let me write it here just in case y'all forgot. It is literally, there we go. FreeWholesaling.com. Literally teach you how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. FreeWholesaling.com. It's my free wholesale community. Got over 18,500 people in there. We all can hang out, talk, and say what's up, and we can all go through the free course in there. But here's the problem. Most people, Chris Bumstead's from Canada, but he actually lives in my city. I've seen him 5 times. He's a cool dude. I've actually worked out at the same gym he worked out at before he made his own gym. But yeah, look it up. Chris Bumstead living in Florida. It's crazy. I'm no joke. I'm walking down the street. I'm like, what in the world? That dude is massive. And he's like wearing a huge shirt too. And I'm like, why is everyone taking pictures of this guy? And it's pretty crazy, right? But okay, FreeWholesaling.com is where you learn how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. Now the thing is, it's not I don't know how to wholesale. You guys already know. So I'll end this as any egoistic alpha male type guy will say, stop being a crybaby and get rich. But the reason I can tell you that is because I'm actually giving you actionable steps. Now, this is at the Be a Man Alpha Male infomercial where I tell you, join the tribe and give me $16,000 on a credit card. Join our call or discovery, whatever, and hop on and hop on and join the community for 14 grand. No, I teach it all for free. Send me a wholesale deal. I can make probably 20 grand on a deal with you guys. So I think it's a little better, and you get to learn for free. So the last thing I can leave everybody on is nobody's going to cheer you on this come up journey that you're about to go on. You're about to go on some crazy, awesome, massive come up right now. You're really going to be on this come up. It's awesome. It's sick. It's amazing. But I'm going to be honest with you. Nobody in your vicinity is going to cheer you on. Now, your peers at Wholesaling.com are always going to cheer you on. That's pretty cool. But I'll be honest with you, no one's going to cheer you on here. But they're all going to cheer you on when you pay the bill, when you become rich and successful. They're all going to ask you to go pay for something. Oh, go take me out here. They'll all ask you for the gifts and all these things once you're successful. But they'll never cheer you on the way up there. And I know it sounds crazy to say, but you don't even have to keep tabs on the people that don't or do want you to succeed when you're coming, because you don't know any of them. Trust me, that it's easy to count the people that cheered you on the way up, because you don't even have to think about the ones that didn't cheer on you, because there's way more. It'd be really hard to count the people not cheering you on. It's insane. So guys, if you want to become successful, join the free wholesale community, freewholesaling.com. It's right here, freewholesaling.com, and you can learn exactly how to do it, step by step. That's it. It's insane. All you have to do is just go to freewholesaling.com and learn how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. Simple as that. JC says, let me answer some questions here. If you go to school from 8:30 to 3:30, what time do you recommend a call? Approximately 4 to 7 p.m. Simple as that. Need to be around like-minded folks for real. We have a crazy, there's a crazy amount of nutty people that are in this wholesale journey that are getting rich and successful. So we technically have two communities, right? So the first community is freewholesaling.com, which I talked about today, but we also have another one. It's called ZachDiscord.com. And that is my official Discord for the community. It's called ZachDiscord.com. The word Zach is Z-A-C-H and then Discord. So ZachDiscord.com. That's my free Discord. About to have 20,000 people in it. It's really fun. You got 20,000 of like your fellow wholesalers wanting to cheer you on. If you're a hater, if you're a meanie, if you're a bullier, we kick you out pretty quick. And we just want people that want you to succeed, want you to become successful, rich, and do well in life. So yeah, pretty cool. Check it out, freewholesaling.com. See here. Do you think Chris Bumstead's the type of bodybuilder to try to beat? No. One, I'll be honest with you. MMA guys get really up in their thing about, I could beat people up. I promise you, in the United States of America, a MMA guy can beat up pretty much anybody that's untrained. But once an untrained person has something, it don't matter how much MMA you get. If you get, I'll tell you, a baseball player with a baseball bat will beat any MMA guy. So MMA guys have this thing of they think like they can beat everybody up. I promise you, a guy with a baseball bat, a baseball player with a baseball bat, a metal one, will do pretty good about pretty much about any MMA guy without a baseball bat. So I'll be honest with you. And I'll tell you, if Chris Bumstead trained MMA since he was like 4, he'd beat anybody else 125. That's just how size works. But yeah, dude, I used to have people in high school like, I trained jiu-jitsu. I'd whoop you up. Like I was on the wrestling team. I was captain of my wrestling team for 2 years. And jiu-jitsu guys are like, I could choke you. And I'm like, I literally told this guy, I'm like, how are you going to choke me? He's like, well, I take your back. I'm like, when I have a baseball bat, how are you going to do when I have a baseball bat? They're like, well, you wouldn't have a baseball bat. I'm like, okay, well, what if I was in a gym and I had a weight in my hand, a 10-pound weight in my hand? Would you take my back then? If you had nothing? No. I'm like, then why are you telling me? Like, it's crazy. People used to, and those are guys they're all white belts. Once you're a black belt, you don't do that anymore. But this brings me back to high school, man. Now, people are MMA guys. Like, usually brand new MMA guys want to tell everyone that they can beat them up. Usually when you get really good at MMA, you figure out that if someone has a weapon, you can't beat anybody up. And it's not good to engage that. Zach, what's the split if we send you a deal? 50-50? I don't really believe in anything else. Let's see here. Got some great questions, you guys. How do you feel about the wholesale? I love a wholesale, which is buying the wholesaling deal and then throwing it back on the market. If you are going to spend less than $3,000, $5,000 on renovations, and you have a good realtor, I'd say it's a great opportunity. I would tell you have to make at least $250,000 in assignment fees before you do that, though. And Chris Brump's one of the nicest people I've met. So very cool guy. Let's see here. Arnold Schwarzenegger is doing real estate investing while I was working towards me. He's doing a lot of things on his way to being Mr. Olympia. Governor, actor. I would not, a real estate investor would not even be top 5 accomplishments for. I'll tell you guys, Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of the great inspiration. The cool part about him, I will tell you this though, is he never let his accent become an issue with his life. And I think it's something everyone should be looking at. And I'll be honest with you, having a German accent was not cool in the 80s. It was not cool. His accent was kind of funky though, because it wasn't like an annoying German accent. It was like a cool German accent. I like Germany. It was a cool place. In America, there are no labels and items that say excessive sugar. In Latin America, you do. That is true. Well, I'll tell you, in Latin America, I didn't have an issue with the water. I had an issue with the food. It was the water I was worried about. So let's talk about the water in Latin America. Okay, and you could say, well, actually, tell that to Rick's digestive system. I'd let everyone know, if you are going to Mexico, buy a bottle of water and use it. And do not use the water for brushing your teeth. That's what got Rick, I think he got like food poisoning from the water because he put water when he was brushing his teeth by accident. That'll get you. Zach, do you mean plain call? I say lead calls. Lead calls. There you go. 250, easy to track. This is not legal or health advice. Oh, man. Let's see here. Everyone, this is new in the group. Listen to Zach. I'm closing another deal on, 2 weeks because I'm in the spot. There you go, Austin. Love to see that. Congratulations, man. How to get abs in 5 minutes. Everyone's like, how to get abs in 5 minutes, how to make 50 grand in 5 minutes. Some work involved here. Lord. Part about eating right is right because your health is your wealth. Did you say to do about the real estate wholesaling business so you can see results? Track your numbers. Kind of like how to track your calories, track your numbers for wholesaling. Says, you guys putting out too much millionaire making content for no charge. I'm telling you, it's embarrassing. For the past 6 years, I've been giving out information on YouTube, how to wholesale real estate for free. And there still hasn't been one wholesaler to give out only free content that is not selling a course. It's crazy to me. I just got, somebody said this guy's a free wholesale course. And I literally saw it today. And somebody sent it to me. I said, okay, let me look at this. Because somebody called me up, told me this. I'm like, oh, let me see. Hey, I said, you know what? I'm going to look at this, and if it's legitimately free and good information, I'm going to give this guy a shout out. Or a gal. Maybe it's a gal. Definitely. Only a dude is, I'll be honest with you. Only a guy can be this dumb. Only a guy can do something this dumb. And they have a wholesale course. It's got like 2 videos on it. And then the third video, it has like 17 different videos in it. And then the third video says, you have to buy my exclusive $4,000 program to get the rest of this course. So it's a free course. It's a funnel for a 4,000. It's not even a funnel to private mentorship or one-on-ones or whatever, which I still have a problem with. It's a funnel to get the rest of the information. I'm like, you physically can't give out a free course even if you wanted to. Why? Just embarrassing, man. Like absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Oh, Lord. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. So why sell courses if there's so much money making wholesaling? Solid credit, dude. I've been asked that question for 6 years. And everyone gives some stupid like example. Well, my time is valuable. I'm like, dude, I tell everyone, and I've told everyone this, and no one has ever took me up on this. But if you're making so much money wholesaling, why do you have to sell a $16,000 course? Because if you get JV deals, you're going to make a ton of money if you actually wholesale. And then everyone says, well, my time, and I built a community. I deserve to get paid for it. And don't get me started on that. I'm not going to get in this argument. I've been in this argument for 6 years straight. I don't have one good answer. I don't have one good answer on it. Oh, Dim 6678. I don't understand why you act like a child. You already know how to talk calmly. Here's the thing, Dim 678. When I walk into a bank and then they go pull up my account, they never think I act like a child. What about when you go to your bank account? What does that look like? Let me give you a fun fact. I have a personal banker at my bank. Do you know if you have a certain amount of money in your bank account, you have a personal banker? And this personal banker, no joke. Do you want to hear this? They gave me a box of desserts. Like it had like 30 types. This is Chase Bank. They had 30 types of desserts, brownies, cookies, pastries, and all this stuff. And they shipped it to my house as a thank you. Do you have to understand how much they sent one to Rec 2 and they sent one to our office. Do you know how much money you have to have in your bank account for them to actually do that? I think I will show you guys. I will show you the letter. I got a letter too. Personal letter from the bank. Gave me that. So I want to honestly know. Please, honestly. Okay. Dim 670, I am begging you, man, or gal. Please hop on the stream right. I want to talk to you. I want to go band for band with you. I really want to. Because there's not one person that I've ever had hate on my face that had more money than my bank account. And we will pull up. Please, do it! So you want to know why I act like a child? Here's the thing. A lot of you guys let the fun child in you die. So if you want to say me having fun, teaching people how to get rich wholesaling is childish, you do whatever you want. But I'll tell you this. What I'm doing is sharing teaching people how to wholesale real estate. Then when people wholesale real estate, they send me deals. And then I get $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 checks in my mailbox from JVs and doing wholesaling real estate deals. So you really want to know who's acting childish here. I'm out here making millions of dollars teaching people how to learn wholesale real estate for free. What are you doing with your life? It's crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, I honestly, I want to do this. I walk in my bank, the manager literally comes out. Oh, hello, Mr. Ginn. I promise you, it is insane. But Zach, who do you think DIM 678? I already know who this is. I already know who this is. I already know who that is. And no. We're not going to reveal your course, my guy. I don't know. That's my guess. Probably somebody who sells a wholesale course and they're mad that they can't beat me. It's crazy. I actually have 2 levels of haters now. I have the wholesale coaching haters, and then I have the software haters, that people who own wholesale softwares hate me now because XLeads has taken over pretty much all the other, all the wholesaling softwares are losing people every single month. We're gaining people because everyone's leaving every other software to go to XLeads. So I don't know which hater we got. I have 2 different types of haters, but I'll tell you this. I don't know why. Haters have so much balls to say something mean to me behind a fake name, but they never have the balls to show their actual face to me and talk to me man to man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh yeah, that was another one, DeAndre. I exposed a Reddit forum talking smack about XLeads, and a guy that sold a wholesaling program stole my information. And I don't care. You take my information, whatever it is, just give it for free. He was selling my free information on a course and talking smack about me. But he was also he was talking so much smack about me on the Reddit post, but he was also selling a course with my information on it. Guys, this is not a joke. Somebody was saying Zach Ginn sucks. They took all of my scripts word for word and then sold it inside of a program because the information was so good it said I sucked. I was like, crazy. It's not even real life. Guys, if you could show the video, it's not, I can't even, the true life is madder than, it's crazier than the fiction. That's how insane, you can't make this stuff up. Crazy. Have you ever had a hater talk smack to face to? I've never had a hater say it to my face ever once. Because I'll be honest with you, and let me say this, because I don't want to sound like a jerk, okay? You get to a certain size, and I'm not even joking. Let me talk about men for a second, okay? All right, let me tell you this. All right, this gets funny. A man that is 5'6", there's no problem about being 5'6", by the way, okay? I'm 6'1", by the way. A man that is 5'6" will go on the internet and say, Zach, I will punch you in the face and beat you up. Not one person who is 5'6" will go up to someone who's 6'1", who's way bigger than me. I'll beat you up. It don't happen. It don't happen. It don't happen. Because when you go to my face and say, I'm going to beat you up, you don't know who I am. There's real life consequences to your little action. And unless you're like some MMA guy, but baseball bats, right? It's like the reason why men usually don't go up to someone and say, I'm going to beat you up, bro. It don't happen. I had a buddy who's like 6'4". It's kind of funny. Like, you go out like partying or whatever. You know how guys will like bump into you and say, whoa, watch what you're doing, bro. He was 6'4". Nobody ever did that to him. They do it to the short guy. They never do it to the tall dude. Huh. Funny. And so most people never come up and say, I'll beat you up. It don't happen. It don't happen. And I'm not even like the craziest, biggest dude in the world, but I'll tell you this, like, the thing about it is people say something to like over the internet, but when it comes to face, there's real life consequences to this stuff. So it's always the little chihuahuas barking. The loudest barking dogs are always the tiny ones. They're always the tiniest ones. I've never seen a Chihuahua try to bite a Rottweiler before. I'll tell you that. I've never seen a little St. Charles Cavalier, yap, 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 yap type of dog ever try to bite a pit bull. It don't happen. They'll bark louder. Huh. And so that's the one thing I'll tell you. These haters, they say whatever they want to say. But I've never had a hater say anything to my face. Literally never. That's it. Haters love to hate. It's crazy to me. But you got to remember, I'm putting all these software people out of business. I'm putting all these wholesaling coaches out of business. Of course, I'm going to hit some hate. But I'm willing for every wholesaling coach to hate me, every wholesaling software CEO to hate me, if that means the wholesaling community loves me. That is a choice that I consciously had to make in my life. Me and Rick had to make that choice too. Do you guys know Rick used to have a lot of real estate coaching friends? You know, they all stopped talking and they blocked him because they don't want to be even be associated with him because you lose sales. That's it. It's crazy. So let's answer some questions. We get off the rails on Sunday nights, don't we? I could care less. That's how we do it. But yeah, guys, I'll tell you this. I love hate comments because they're so funny to me. Because I never, ever get a hate comment from somebody that basically has their name, their full name, and a picture of them. Rarely I do. Rarely ever I do. And if I do, it's usually from somebody that sells a $14,000 wholesaling program because they're trying to bring me down to sell more coaching. It's pretty much it. And of course, you have an incentive to hate me. I get it. But outside of that, I rarely do. Very, very rare. It's crazy. Or they're broke. Usually both. But that's what I found. All right, let's answer some questions. TT, do you provide proof of funds in your course? No, I do not. I teach you how to get proof of funds. That's how you do it. Let's see here. Everyone's a tough guy behind the windshield until you get a red light. I have driven before in South Florida, and I've seen guys get out of their car and then they pull up and they get out because it's like a 6'5" dude in a little Toyota Camry, all just jacked. It's like the little dude. He pulls out. He's trying to be all tough guy, and he just walks back. That's only South Florida I found that. It happens all the stinking time. Oh, Lord. Haters gonna hate. Oh, Lord. Next stop, boys, says, do you know if the wholesale laws in Canada are the same in America? So you can wholesale living in Canada in the United States, and that's what you should be doing. Do not be doing anything else. Thomas says, I live in West Palm. Is it better to start my local market or venture somewhere else? I would tell you to venture somewhere else. I'm not a big fan of West Palm in that market. I would say St. Lucie County, which is north of you, 2 counties north of you, that is one of the best ways. By far. Let's see here. Zach, how do you feel about the how to eat an elephant? Is it okay if we aren't on the same level as everyone else marketing? Yeah, ram fishing, dude, it's okay to not be on the same level as other people. It's completely okay. But if you do not want to do the same amount of marketing as somebody that's getting a deal a month, you should not expect a deal a month. You can do it slowly. You can just get a couple deals in the year. That's okay too. But yeah, you can do that. Just if you do less marketing, you should manage your expectations. So if you expect to do a deal a month and you're doing half that marketing, do a deal every other month. That's the way you should, guys, your dream shouldn't be to make $500,000 your first year, right? Let's just get a deal number one, then get a second deal, and then just go up and up and up from there. That's it. Let's see here. Zach, how can I create a way to use AI to create an app to track the cold calls, the pickups, the voicemails? So you can technically use AI. I use DeepSeek. Grok 3 is really good, though. I've been learning how to say Grok lately. Gronk. I'm calling it Gronk. That's my boomer impression. But yes, so you can have it create the app. Here's the problem with creating an app. You have to host the app. And most likely you can't host the app. So Code Runner on codetester.io, I think, is a really good hosting, but it'll get rid of after I think a couple months. So I would just use Excel. I don't know why. Excel's coded perfectly for it, so I would do that, especially for your KPIs. Daily revenue system says, just starting out, is there an order to go through school? Yes, there is. Let's go through here. All right. Right here is the school group. If you want to join, just go to freewholesaling.com and put it right here. Freewholesaling.com. Got 18,400 people. Not bad. I would go to classroom right here, and I'd start at welcome. I would go through Wholesaling 101, marketing, and I'd go through literally all this stuff. All my downloads is in here. I got some other courses in here. This is all free, by the way, but you got to be in the community. You got to reward the community members to get the information. So yeah, freewholesaling.com. Everyone knows you got to go to freewholesaling.com. Didn't go. Yeah. So actually, the governor of Florida proposed to get rid of property taxes in Florida. Inherently, I think that's an amazing idea. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's going to pass, and I don't even know if I would support it yet. The truth is, there's not one state that has abolished the property tax. And the problem with property taxes is in Florida, how they're set up is they are charged at a local level, not a state level. So you could ban it, but as of most municipalities, the property taxes that are being paid is not the issue with the pricing of Florida. The prices of Florida are usually always levied on the population growth here, the zoning, and most importantly, the insurance. So it would really be the insurance you want to deal with, not the property taxes. And on top of that, property taxes pay for the firefighters, the policemen, and most importantly, the schools. And I don't think there's a clear way to fund schools. And I do believe we should have schools in the United States of America. So I don't see how this would actually get passed. Florida's done something really radical, which they don't have a state income tax, which I think is beautiful. And they found a way to actually finance the whole state by doing that. If they could get rid of property taxes and keep the same school funding, firefighter funding, and police funding, I would say go for it. I don't think that's possible, but they're doing pretty good with that way. So, maybe if they can figure out a way. I don't think so, but hey, whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. Do you have a schedule when you go live? No. Last minute on the podcasts on there. Let's see here. What other watches do you have besides the Daytona? Stop pocket watching. Stop pocketing. Stop watching. We got some heaters. I don't put too many of the heaters on. We don't put too many heaters on the live stream. I try to keep it chill. That's all I could say. I'll throw on a couple here and there though. You know. I gotta let the wholesaling coaches know I'm better than them. I gotta flex on a wholesale coach. You know, I gotta do that. I gotta flex on these people selling mentorship. That's all I could say. All right. Oh Lordy. All right. Yeah. So the insurance in Florida is insane. Lottery funding the schools will not even work at all. The lottery currently funds the largest scholarship in Florida. Fun fact, how the lottery works in the state of Florida is the lottery system actually paid for a lot of my school. So if you have a really high SAT score, I think you're gotta be a top 5% SAT score in Florida. You actually get your whole tuition paid for if you go to a state college. So I got my tuition all paid for at UF because of it. So it's a lot of money actually, but the lottery is not that big, and everyone's paying for everyone's gambling. They're not really playing the lottery anymore. Everyone's sports betting, which is a terrible idea. don't sports bet. Even though I've sports bet 4 times in my life, and I'm 4 for 4 on sports betting. FYI, no joke, no joke. Never do it again. And I'm also always net positive on blackjack. Fun fact, I don't want to say this, incriminate myself on the camera, but everyone knows I have a photographic memory, and I don't lose on blackjack. Read between the lines why. But I went to Vegas. I'm very good at it, but problem is my eyes start moving, reading everything, and I get in trouble. And I'm like, I make too much money to be doing this. So, yeah, that's all I could say. Would you ever debate someone who is anti-wholesale like Meet Kevin? I don't think Meet Kevin's anti-wholesale. I mean, I think he is anti-wholesale, but I could really care less. How do I bring this the right way? Meet Kevin doesn't really care about real estate anymore. He's more of a finance guy, and I think Meet Kevin's a great dude. He obviously doesn't like wholesaling, but like he's a realtor. That's like me debating somebody that sells a wholesaling program of should you sell a wholesale program or not. The person that sells the wholesale program is obviously just going to yap about why you should charge 15 grand, why that's the right thing to do. And then I'm going to say why it's not the right thing to do. And it's like a realtor arguing for being a realtor versus me. That's it. Heard Daytona watch this report. Yeah, they're for broke people. They're the people that can't afford the gold one. Yeah. You only get the steel Daytona when you can't afford the two-tone. That's a joke for the watch people. All right. Let's see here. Got a lot of great questions tonight. I like it. Rogelio, you got a question, man?
Not right now, Zach.
All right. I appreciate it, man. Hey, at least he hopped on. I give him that. A lot of y'all got a question and want to hop on and talk to me. All right, let's see here. She says, I'm a realtor. It's dumb that some people hate on it. You can do both. Like the people who say wholesale is unethical, it's so funny to me. It's like, do you not understand about supply and demand in the United States? Like, you get something for a price and you sell it for something higher. That's America. I swear, I know everyone that freaks out about grocery prices. If you guys knew about, let's talk about gas, okay? Let's say gas is $2.50 a gallon, which is a little more right now. Do you know that people who are selling you the gas bought it for like $2 a gallon? People are like, that's unethical to go buy gas for $2 a gallon and sell it for $2.50. That's unethical. If you knew how much people, like if you spend $5 on like, I don't know, a steak, $5 on a pound of steak, probably the grocery store spent $3 on that steak. How dare they make $2 on my steak? You would go crazy. If grocery stores had how much margins they made, oh, okay, this bag of rice is $17, but really we bought it for $4. People go out, people's minds would go crazy. But because in real estate, it's pretty public that we bought the house for $100 and we sold it for $130, people lose their minds. But if you figured out that a car that sells for 40 grand was built for only 8 grand, people can't handle it. They physically can't handle it. That's why it's all, it's the cost of something. That's why people get mad about wholesales, because it's transparent how much money we make, which I think is actually right. There's no transparency how much Walmart's making on your thing. Walmart's got a great one. An iPhone costs $5 to make in China, but you guys have no problem. You guys don't get outraged about that. We got people with these nets in China, and like, what is it? It's like they pay them like $1 an hour, 50 cents an hour. No one's got a problem with that. It's hilarious to me. It's hilarious. It's true though. Like, come on. If people knew the real margins in business, you guys would be freaking out. So yes, technically grocery stores do have a 2% profit margin, but that's after everything. Staff is expensive, spoiled food. Like they're at like, I think they're at like 15, probably 15% on the food itself. It's the people driving it, delivering it, because they buy it for $4. They got to deliver it, got to have the shelf workers, all this stuff too, right? What's that? Jamie's got a great question. What are KPIs we should look for in our local market? So number one, if you're physically live in your like local market, I want you to track how many driving for dollars leads you have. Very important for your driving for dollars leads. On top of that too, you want to put how many sticky notes you put out, right? Reverse driving for dollars. If you don't know what that is, go to freewholesaling.com, teach you right there how to do it absolutely for free. How many calls you're making, that's always very important. You want to figure out how many texts you're sending out. Then you want to do contacts, how many people that are replying to your texts, how many people that are replying to your phone calls, super, super important too. And then on top of that too, you just want to do how many appointments you have, how many offers you're sending out, how many contracts, buyers you added, buyers you sold the deal to, things like that. But generally, you want to figure out your marketing and then your offers and your acquisitions and then some other stuff there. Simple. Jesus says, hey, Zach, when there's a renter in the property, great, I like this question. What's the process to move forward? Do they need to be evicted by the property owner or do we take care of it? So, Jesus, welcome to America, baby. This is all creative, if I could say so myself. So here's the thing. Everything has a price. And it's kind of funny. So, for example, if I try to sell a deal to a cash buyer and the property has a tenant in there, the deal will either go up in value or go down in value. What do I mean by this? Okay. Well, let's say the property is worth let's use easy numbers. The property is worth $100,000 and the tenant is paying $3,000 a month. Quick math. That's a really good deal. Like if I could buy a deal for $100,000 and I'm collecting $3,000 a month, can we all agree that is an insanely good rental property? That property would be worth a lot more to a buyer. But let me tell you something. That is only 1% of those type of deals. Most of the time, not trying to poop on your parade, but this is true. Most of the time, when there's a tenant in the property, they are underpaying rents. And they're probably trashing the house. And they got 16 dogs and cats in the house. And they're trashing the property. All that stuff brings down the value of the house. On top of that too, one of the worst things you can possibly do is have a long-term lease for a stupid low amount of rent with no buyout clause in there. That will make the property worth less. So in general, the way a deal with a tenant will be worth the most is if you go to the tenant before you find a buyer, right? You get it locked up and say, hey, Mr. Hey, Mr. Tenant, we want to keep you in, but we're going to raise your rents to $4,000 a month. Would you be able to do that? Let's sign a lease right now. And if they do that, then yeah, the property, keep the tenant, it's worth way more to a cash buyer. Most people aren't willing to do that. Most people are underpaying their rents. And I'm just being honest with you. You got to look at this as a business transaction. The property would be worth more if you kicked out the tenant and just had a regular property there so the person can flip it or put a new tenant in there. The thing I found with tenants, and I know I'm being a jerk saying this, but most tenants, if they're underpaying rent, they will never accept to pay market rent. They'd rather die than pay market rent. Then they go out and try to get another rental and they feel, oh, wow, I'm shocked. Yeah, it does cost a lot to live. It is way easier to just get a new tenant, probably flew in from New York, who, $4,000, that's cheap. And so that's the problem. So in general, you most likely want the tenant to leave the house. If they're month to month, say you got to get out next month, I'm sorry. Yes, cash for keys is another good example. You say, hey, I'll give you $400 if you can get out in the next month. That works pretty well. The thing is, the property will be worth a lot less if you keep the tenant in there, and then you have the new person buying it, the cash buyer, evict the tenant, and then they deal with it. What I like to do, if the tenant is like a bad tenant, they refuse to leave, they're maybe a squatter, what we do is we get an extra $5,000 reduction from the seller, and we give a $4,000 make the property worth $4,000. Wait, we take it down by $4,000 to the buyer, which is $4,000 to kick the guy out. It's only like $1,000 of legal fees. I'm gonna net like $3,000. We're all good. Then you keep an extra $1,000 for your time and commitment. It's the best way to do it. But it's hard. You know, you're dealing with people, tenants, all these things. But you got to remember, as a real estate investor, if the rents are $2,000 a month and the person's been paying $600 a month for the past 5 or 6 years, I'll be honest with you, whatever sob story somebody gives to me, I don't care, because either I'm going to lose $1,400 a month by you staying here, and you gain $1,400 of extra rent, of like more buying power for you, or you take $1,400 away from me and my family, or $1,400 for your family. I'll be honest with you. Maybe this is cutthroat, but I'd rather keep $1,400 for my family versus your family on any business deal. And it's, like I said, this is a business. There's a reason why I don't rent out my properties to single moms or people in bad situations or people that have disabilities or old ladies on Social Security. Like, it's because I have a heart, and I will kick a 26-year-old out that's a bum. No problem. A 26-year-old guy, I'll kick you out, no problem. You don't pay rent. If you're like a old single lady on Social Security, I can't kick you out. I can't do it. So that's why I don't rent out. I literally discriminate. Like, I don't want to rent out to those people because I don't have the heart to do it, because it's happened so much to me that I had we have single moms not paying the rent for 6 months straight. And I can't, and they have 3 kids and they have no job anymore. It's like, how do I kick this person out, right? You do some workarounds, right? But you say, I'm never going to rent out this type of person ever again. And I know it's a jerk move to say, but like it's got to be business. If you have a heart, don't rent out. My last thing, don't rent out to people that you don't have the heart to kick out. So it's usually single males. I could care less about them. So easy as that. So, all right, guys, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Again, guys, if you want to learn how to wholesale real estate for free, go to freewholesaling.com. I'll see you soon.